see how Orange responds. Looks like they're just going to give up. He realizes he doesn't have anything for Dark Templar. Actually, sorry, it looks like Drone's managing to get in the field, so it was the Zerg player who gave up. Seeing the Dark Templar, realized that the game was kind of out of his hands. Looks like Orange, who is our friend Max, is still going to fight it out, see if he can take the game at this point. But no, going to GG right there. Let me go ahead and go right into... So this was game one, and wow, fantastic game one. Action all over the field. Let's go directly into game 5, which basically this was a best of 5, and yeah, let's go directly into it, and I'll just put it together as a single VOD. Excuse me while I hunt through my files here. So game 5 going underway. This is going to be on Python. Let's take a look at the teams. So Max and Piet once again, and it looks like they're going to be starting at close positions here at the 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Let me show you Python just in case you, for whatever reason, don't know Python. And our friends from MYM, InRain, and vodkos. I like that name, vodkos. At the 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock, well, equivalently 9 o'clock. This is about 8 at the 8 o'clock expansion. So this is Python. Python, very much like Lost Temple, except you don't have the hovering mass here over the secondary. So a very Lost Temple-ish. And as you can see, the giant python in the middle. Ooh, so pretty. Let me get down some hotkeys here really fast, just so I can go. So I can go in between the bases really fast. Anyway, so right here, island expansion. I'm going to point these out first because I don't think they're going to come to effect. Sorry, these are not island expansions. As you can see, nice large ramp, hard to defend though. Large open area. A couple critters around. Scannid's hallucination. I didn't even realize that was a hallucination on the map at the start. Who knew? Anyway, whatever. Overlord starting to scout out. Simple ramp, simple expansion here. And otherwise, yeah, basically think of Lost Temple minus the drop zone, and the drop areas are kind of at different positions to the map, and also there's this kind of mineral artifact here at the kind of the map diagonals. So anyway, let's take the map reveal off. That was kind of a sloppy introduction, but whatever. So both Zerg players starting their Overlord scout. Looks like they're both going to head directly into the Protoss players. Pylon's going down at the front. Actually, it looks like who's this? Our friend Vodkos putting his pylon inside his base, and we saw him do this in game 1 too, which it didn't really have an effect. I really got to say though, I like the defensive barriers, especially well for obvious reasons. Front door going to be a little more securable here. Probe going out, so it's going to get a little harassment action off. Standard spawning pool going down. We're going to see well, actually no spawning pool yet. So going to be looks like a little bit behind. And interestingly enough, maybe some chit chat going on in the background between our MYM friends. But spawning pool going down a little bit later. It's not going to make that much of a difference. So let's actually check the exact difference here. I'm not sure why not just using my hotkeys. Let me do this. So hotkey so I can remember between Zerg players. A little harassment going on. I realized I didn't have this on fastest. So bear with me here, guys. So okay, and that one didn't set. Okay, whatever. I'll deal with it. Anyway, so gateway going down at the front door. And a little harassment here coming from the probes. It's like, why is he moving so slow? Standard gas plus spawning pool. Gas plus spawning pool on this side as well. We'll see if we see an Mutulus action. You'll tend to see more Mutulus action on this map. 2 gate in the meantime coming from both the Protoss players, as you can see, producing zealots as well. I'm just going to ignore my hotkeys for now. Sometimes I use them. Pylons going down. Zerglings going to be produced and loose, and 6 Zerglings being produced on both sides, it looks like. But yeah, it's really hard to get up the ramp of either player, because you have that ramp. That ramp's easily defendable. You're not dealing with open ground, so more often you'll see Mutalisks on this sort of thing. I know that's obvious, but anyway, probe being chased around. Actually, no, going to ignore the probe, going to get out in the field. As we can see, Orange sending, so our, sorry, oh man, I'm losing track here. Our starcraftstrategie.pl heading across the map. We're going to see some Zergling on Zergling action. And 3, 2, no, falling back, just going to gather in the center. Zealot headed towards our StarCraft Strategy friends' base, headed towards Orange, so White headed towards Orange. Looks like they're going to try to do something similar and gather up and attack Orange's base. Instead, looks like they're starting to gather up in the middle. More Zerglings coming out, so constant Zergling production in the meantime from Orange. Looks like he's just going to go for the speed upgrade, not harvesting gas anymore. No gas harvest on this side, so we're going for speed upgrade and a second hatchery now as well. So he's going to be behind on Zerglings, first of all, and yeah, has a lot of Zerglings towards his base. He got a lot of his Zerglings caught out of position. This is going to be horrible for him. As you can see, just first of all, they're going to be speed upgraded probably while they're still in his base. And first of all, and additionally, the outnumber, he really needed to hold his ramp, trying to produce some units in the meantime. A couple zealot action being delayed here in the background. So Blue's economy getting harassed, getting taken down quite early, and that shows you how that early hatchery playing all the difference there. More Zerglings just constantly being produced. Second hatchery going down for Orange in the meantime. Wow, Blue did not manage to hold his ramp, and that really made all the difference here. Able to fend that off, but not before he took a decent amount of economic damage. And we'll see how that plays out into the long run. More zealots being produced from Red at the 6 o'clock position. Looks like he's getting a third gateway down. We'll see if there's any variance here. Gas going down, so it looks like we're actually going to see, I guess, MYM remembering game 1 and remembering that Tech really played a difference here, but he's going to be vulnerable. Huge fight in the middle here, and we'll see who comes out on top. I think we're going to see our, excuse me, we're actually going to end up seeing our StarCraft strategy friends pulling out. Blue falling back to his base, going to try to hold his front door, not holding the ramp. I really feel like he needed to put up some sort of delay. Second hatchery up, Sunken Colony up, so it looks like he's going to be okay. Zerglings pulling up, looks like they're speed upgraded. Both set of Zerglings are speed upgraded at this point. And wow, large attack force gathering just outside his base, and this is going to be overwhelming in just a second. Zealots going in to get the initial attack, just going to allow the Zerglings to go for the economic damage. Yeah, just trying to get around, going after the probes, going after the gas as well to make sure he can seal something out. Let's see if he's harvesting any more gas in the meantime, going for any sort of tech. No, Zealots were taken care of, so attack repelled successfully. More Zerglings still in the middle. Third gateway going down. No cybernetics core. I was expecting to see cybernetics core because we saw this assimilator. I was expecting some gas harvest or something like that. Overlord just chilling at the front door, seeing these zealots pouring out, and more attack happening in the front door. White continuing to trying to defend his friend Blue's base. Looks like he managed to be successful. Now they're on the offensive. Looks like about 6 zealots, 7 zealots headed in, along with a handful of Zerglings. And Orange could be in a bit of trouble here. He doesn't have a lot of Zerglings out. Looks like he was getting a third hatchery down. Just going to dedicate to a Zergling pump. We'll see if a third hatchery is going down this time. I'm going to assume that's the case because you don't, as you can see, no gas being produced. And zealots, and now looks like he's giving up the ramp as well. Not going to try to keep the units out, allowing the zealots to get in. Now engaging at the ramp, but as you can see, a lot of units on the outside here gathering. It looks like he just did an attack move sort of position. We'll see. Red in the meantime going in for an attack in on Blue, so these reinforcements are going to be cut off as well. Blue looks like he's falling back to try to defend his base, realizes the issue. White in the meantime is just kind of given up, and it looks like he's just dedicating for contain. He's headed to the south, and we'll see. It looks like 3 zealots here, so he's going to be okay in that regard. A forge in the meantime, weapons 1 as well as a cybernetics core going. Now we're seeing gas harvested from White. 3 gateways, still no cybernetics core. I'm surprised. So it looks like Red in the meantime is going to get ahead as far as the technological advantage. He's getting kicked out of Blue's base, as you can see, just putting up some harassment. In the meantime, he's getting that information spot. He sees that there's only 2 hatcheries down, and that's really the difference between that initial harassment as far as the economic damage. And it looks like he's going to stand engaged, realizing he's losing those zealots. I'm surprised he actually didn't just engage them on the ramp. Blue in the meantime looks like he's going to head to Red and see what kind of damage he can do here. 3 zealots. We'll see if we can see a cannon down here in a moment to kind of, cannon going down to kind of supplement this force. We'll see if these zealots are basically can hold out while the zealot goes up. He needs to get at least another cannon down if he's going to hold out against all this. Bringing 3 more zealots up to try to hold the front door along with that probe. White in the meantime also attacking Orange simultaneously. Blue looks like he's going to switch focus to White, so this skirmish is going to be taken care of momentarily. Blue going to try to crack the door. Man, this is an incredible fight. Going to try to crack the door here. Orange in the meantime effectively contained. Has 3 hatcheries worth of zealot pumping in the meantime. He's got a second colony down, slightly on the defensive. This is a lot of Zerglings though, and I think just a little bit at a time he can easily whittle through White's kind of contain here. White in the meantime still hasn't gotten a cybernetics core up. Getting a cybernetics core up now, and that gas is really going to a waste as a result. Blue in the meantime teching to layer. My guess is to go to Mutalisk so we can kind of break this, basically contain Orange and then break it after that. Let's see. White has already got his Citadel down, going with speed upgrade on his zealots. He's going to have the upgrade advantage, and Overlord sneaking in